Hello, friends, welcome back to Global Hub TV. As you all know, what has been happening in South of Africa is disheartening and terrible. We can actually see the wanton killing, the quest for blood. It's so terrible. South Africans have been killing other Africans that are domiciled in their country over excuses of, whatsoever excuses they actually bring out there. South Africa is a country that went through apartheid, and during these their very low times, when a lot of blood was being shed in the south of Africa, Nigeria came up to help this country, South Africa, with about $61 billion. But it's quite unfortunate that South Africans, rather than embracing other African countries, are actually killing them, and this can be termed xenophobia, and that is the fear of strangers. And they have different reasons why they are doing this. They kill both Ghanaians. As long as you're not a South African, as long as you don't look like them, as long as you cannot speak that language, they kill, they destroy, they break shops, and it's so sad. I mean, it's a terrible thing. Although a lot of people might say things are happening in the nations of those people that are out there, but nevertheless, I mean, if you're being killed in your country and you're also being killed outside of your country, then what is life? Anyway, let me quickly run through the tweets, comments, and from both government officials and Nigerians and a lot of people. Let's see the reactions and see what people are saying. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is the leader of IPOB, the secessionist group. I condemn in totality the xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Even as I seek Biafra exit from Nigeria, I rise in defense of all victims of this shameful carnage, and I demand an immediate stop to it. As usual, the Jubril cabal is silent. The victims belong to the hated 5%. This is Femi Fani Kayode, former aviation minister. Here he writes, in response to this man that you see right there, is a South African. I think he's the deputy police commissioner. So just listen to this excitable and ugly little monkey, who is the South African Minister of Police Affairs. Okay, that's what he is, Minister of Police Affairs, trying to justify the killings of Nigerians. Does the fact that 80% of a town in South Africa is made up by foreigners justify the fact that Nigerians are being subjected to mass murder? He is not only an ignorant and xenophobic arch racist, but he is also one step removed from the missing link. He looks and sounds like the offspring of a union of same-sex marriage. It is time for the white Boers to return to power in South Africa. Your minister trash. Now, if you don't know what this means, the Boer are actually the Dutch, German, and in group, let's say in conclusion, the Caucasians that dominated South Africa and still dominates a certain part, affluent part of South Africa. And they really dealt with the South Africans back in those days. And I don't think there is any country in Africa that actually stood up for and stood with these colored South Africans, the Aborigines, other than Nigerians. And I don't know, maybe they've not been taught, but then I think this man speaking is old enough to know what had happened, but then they don't really care at all. And what you see right there is the man saying that how can it be possible that 80% of a city is occupied by foreigners, that soon these foreigners will take over and probably begin to vie for political positions, and that they fought for this land. Imagine that kind of word. Now, you should know that when people arrive in a country, they tend to stay together. That is it, because there is this kind of strength in numbers, so they tend to stay together and have businesses in the same location, so that that's how people do. It's just like that everywhere. If you go to America, you find that you'll find colored people in Chicago and certain places. This is just how the thing is, but it shows the kind of person these people are. So let me read further and let's see what other people are saying. Atiku Abubakar, former presidential aspirant, former vice president, reported attacks against Nigerians in South Africa is unacceptable and stands condemned. Urgent steps need to be taken with the South African authorities and the African Union to bring an end to this hill wind that can only end up destroying the fabric of our African brotherhood. The depth of xenophobia in Ghana towards other African citizens run very deep, especially towards Nigerians and Liberians. Now, some might say South Africans are killing other nationals in South of Africa. Of course, this same thing happens in Ghana, but not the killing anyway. But there is this xenophobia, fear for foreigners, and all of these things. It happens. I don't know why these things happen. Some might be quick to point fingers at the crime that they claim that these people commit. But then the question is Ghana crime free? Is South Africa crime free? And that is what it is. And here, a Nigerian comedian, Kenny Black, writes, Mr. President, African leaders, we have to do something. Our people are dying in South Africa. We have to do something. And he went further to say, I can't sleep. God, please keep our brothers and sisters in South Africa safe. And here, Tiana plays Empire Rise. This is South Africa, where human beings like us have decided to kill citizens of other countries and loot their properties. This is barbaric. This is wrong in every way. But we know the Nigerian government won't do anything about it. The best thing is to boycott all South African companies in Nigeria. What do you think? And here, Alibaba, the comedian, he writes, Nigeria is fining MTN $1,000 per illegal SIM card, even though customers generate just $5 a month. Most times, some people just read the news, hear the news. They do not know the undercurrents of the news. Many do not know the interconnections of the nexus of any news they hear. Shebi, they say I'm a comedian. Okay, let our president pull some strings. That South African president who has not been able to stop xenophobic craze will be made by those who own the big South African businesses in Nigeria to come down in less than 2 weeks. But when we have a president that cannot take decisive action when people are being killed like flies in his country, what will he say when it happens outside Nigeria? Sure. Here, it's a very sad one. Here, this person writes, Nigeria is the only country that respects foreigners more than citizens. Pray for me. I cannot go out in Joburg. Who knows where any South African is staying? I want to ask them a question. You will never find South African citizens, apart from coming for businesses in Nigeria, they barely travel. Another one writes here, Ayo Shonaya. He said, people are just realizing now that the Nigerian government cannot do anything about anything. You are tasking a government that cannot do anything about Nigerians killing Nigerians in Nigeria. About xenophobia in South Africa, do you know if another country invade Nigeria now, they might succeed? And that is true. Nigeria is weak at the moment. Now, in response to this xenophobic attack in South Africa, some Nigerians have decided to attack MTN. That's what is written here. Angry Nigerians burn down MTN office in Apapa, happening right now. Say no to xenophobia. Now, a lot of people will be wondering, what is the Nigerian government saying? Government of Nigeria. This is the official Twitter handle. Say the continuing attacks on Nigerian nationals and businesses in South Africa are unacceptable. Enough is enough. Nigeria will take definitive measures to ensure safety and protection of their citizens. Last week, President Muhammadu Buhari met with President Cyril Ramaphosa, that's the president of South Africa, on sidelines of TCAT 7, the one he went for in Japan, to discuss this. Further discussion scheduled for October 2019 during President Buhari's official visit to South Africa. In the meantime, Nigeria will take further steps to ensure safety of citizens in South of Africa. Banky Wellington. Here writes, the xenophobia attacks by South Africans against Nigerians and other foreign nationals are completely heartbreaking. Sad to see people that suffer through decades of apathy, violence and hatred now turning around to do the same worse to others. The people that South Africans look up to should please speak up and denounce xenophobia. The government, business people, athletes, artists, media personalities, and even the average citizens have a responsibility to stand up for justice the way the world stood up for South Africa. Now, I'm going to quickly run through this one and we'll see what the excuses that are actually out there. And I want you guys to drop your comment in the section below. Do you think this is worth killing? And do you think what they claim other nationals are doing to them is also a form of crime? Yeah, someone writes, when foreigners from Africa sell drugs, do human trafficking, kill our people, sell them fake goods, etc. It's not xenophobia. What makes me laugh is that they don't do these things in their own countries. And here, there is no xenophobia here. It's citizens reclaiming their space from the arrogant African foreigners who don't respect anyone and anything in our country. Government has failed and still failing to protect its own citizens. That's why the people are taking law into their own hands. So do you agree to what this person is saying here? Let's meet at the comment section. Obi Ezekwesili writes, Dear President Cyril Ramaphosa and government South Africa, the maiming and killing of citizens of Nigeria and other African countries in South Africa dishonours everything our collective fight for freedom was about. Even as children in primary school, we played our part. Please stop it. Dear President, okay, I think I read that. Dear President, it's time to take decisive actions to protect our citizens in South Africa. The maiming and killing have gone on for too long without effective response. The bilateral relations with South Africa is troubled. It is time to be candid. What's your take about all of these things? A lot of people are actually saying it, commenting about what is really happening in South Africa. That's a young man there. Obviously, he's squatting down there, watching, protecting himself with the kitchen knife that you see right there with him. It's a sad thing that these things are happening in South Africa. Let me go further. Now, yeah, Osh Poppy is a guy that calls himself social media influencer, and he's calling out the celebrities, and he calls them yeyebrities. Say, Nigerians, you see your South African friends and celebrities you follow post against xenophobia? Yeah, right, they are all the same. They don't care about us when the lives of our people gets taken by their people, but want to say something Nigerian jollof and other irrelevant discussions. And it's true, sometimes you see most of the celebrities, not all of them, you see them talk when it comes to which jollof rice is the best in Africa. Then you see the celebrities, they jump at it and they begin to write stuff. This is the time that people need to speak out. And he went further to write this: after you all will want to post them and claim that they are your besties. Fuck all my South African friends that don't see these as a problem, and fuck you Nigerian celebrities that don't see these as a problem. Enough to speak about till now. And Two-Face Idibia, this is his official Instagram handle, official Tubaba, replies, Dear Osh Poppy, this is absolutely uncalled for. There is a real sad problem here. It's a good thing for you to speak about it, but don't start turning celebrities to being the problem, because they are not. If you want to fight for your people, it's fine. Now that's the word. If you want to fight for your people, he is not using the word our people, but he said for your people is fine. You don't have the right to harass another person for not speaking up yet, because you don't live in their heads. You don't know what plans they have. You don't know what's going on in their hearts. Please let us be guided. One love. And of course, the Nigerians decided to respond, going place tall. Right, for the first time in history, I am disappointed in your comment. You all didn't just rise up. People supported you also. Now it's time for us to speak as one. You started condemning Osh Poppy. For your information, is on his page speaking his mind on injustice and xenophobia. What are you doing on your own page? Ordinary protest you cannot do. You will be singing one love, one love. What about one voice? And Two-Face Idibia replied, oh yeah, make una dey wait for celebrities to talk now, since na that be the Nigerian problem. So do you guys, what do you think about this? A lot of Nigerians have given back to these musicians because they will never be great if Nigerians did not respond to them. Yeah, they will never be great. What have they done for any Nigerian? They sing, share their talents, and they make money. They become rich, they become known, and it's time for them to speak. But it seems most of them are not educated in this. They don't know that they are a mouthpiece. People celebrated with you, gave you enough money, your records shows, they attended your show. Some people even learned your song by heart. And at the end of the day, you are writing this because it thinks it needs nothing from Nigerians any longer. It doesn't sing no more, and it feels like, okay, wait for us. And here someone writes, Baba, no vexo, I like you, I like your music, and I want to be like you someday. But seriously, what Osh Poppy said is true. Una no dey try and no be say him talk am before but seriously, una no say una dey fuck up sha. Now, and someone here replied, Plain indeed. And that's the truth. And here someone writes, 1. Airlift your citizens from South Africa. Send a letter to recall your country's ambassador. Close your embassy and mission within South Africa. Summon the South African ambassador to Nigeria. Send a notice of expulsion to South Africa's president and ambassador till the matter is resolved. And now another person profiles a solution. Here someone writes, it starts with you. Just broke my MTN SIM. Will never shop at ShopRite. Stanbic is a dead end. No longer subscribe to DSTV. Change begins with me. We need to send a message to South Africa since Nigerian leaders are too stupid to do anything. And here is a cartoon. I am not your brother's keeper. Yeah, another one, right? I have ported my MTN SIM to 9 Mobile. I am not shopping at ShopRite anymore. I was already tired of DSTV, so I am done with them. This is my stand to xenophobia. If the federal government likes, let them act. After all, they are about herdsmen and Boko Haram killing innocent lives. So guys, what's your take about all of this? Let us know in the comment section below. Do you think the Nigerian government is acting enough home and abroad? And what's your take about Nigerians living abroad? Do you think they are involved in crimes or they are just being hated? Let us know in the comment section below. And may I remind you, if you have not done so, to tap on that subscription button and also the red notification icon bell so that you'll be notified whenever new videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.